Hello, good morning. I am Patrick and you're watching Tako Tako Show. Today we will be talk about how to handle students when they don't do the tasks. To be better understand this event, we will be talk with Miss Dwi, who is the new teacher from Candlelight School. And for a perspective from the expert of teaching and psychology, we will also have Professor Soleh Hans from Kopeng International University in our show. Now we are connecting with Miss Dwi. Miss Dwi, please welcome.
Oh,
Hello, Miss Dwi.
hello.
How are you?
I'm great today. How about you?
So do I, thank you. Okay, in today's case, we have a problem that maybe all the teacher already face or now they are facing the situation when their student do not want to do a task they give. So from your perspective of as a teacher, have you been in that situation?
In my experience, of course, I have a situation that makes students don't do any tasks. And the biggest problem is about classroom atmosphere. They think that is boring and students don't understand about the material and that makes them lazy to ask the teacher for explain it more better. I mean more detail.
Oh, so you have been in that situation. So then how did you handle it and what did you do?
Hmm. First, I changed my teaching learning strategy for the class
Mhm.
atmosphere to be more enjoyable. For example, with a game that refers students daily or the current issue that is can pay their attention and inspire learning energy. And the second is about counseling time. This is psychology students and that is can help the teacher to know why the student don't do the tasks. Are they have a problem in material or they don't understand in a good mood or they can give a teacher suggestion for better in teaching learning at the class.
Okay, so you change your teaching strategy and try to approach your student, right?
Yes, of course. I changing my teaching strategy. That is the main point.
Oh, so I see. Please stay with us, Miss Dwi, because now we will see from the different perspective. He is from Kopeng International University, the expert of teaching and psychology. Please welcome Professor Solehanj. Good morning, Professor Solehanj.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, Patrick. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. So, Professor Hunch, before we talk further, we did a survey to students about the reason why they don't do the talks. There are three top reason answer, which are first, they don't understand the material. Second, they have internal problem with their confidence. And third, the talks more complicated than the teacher's explanation. So, Professor Hans, from the survey, what is your opinion or comment when you're looking at the psychology of the student? What factors makes them do that?
Okay, thank you, Patrick. So basically, students in adolescence age are more likely to become wild. Two of the characteristics of teenager are emotion and rebellious. Typical teenage rebellion can last up to 6 years and can include deviant behavior and rapidly changing mood. According to Mr. Burton D. Smith, reported in the article, adolescents dealing with normal rebellion on the Children's Physical Network website. Although not all teenagers become rebellious, many do become more resistant to authority, often having a major impact on family dynamics and personal relationships. And in this case, they prefer to choose something that they like without knowing the impact. For the example, yeah, they tend to not do the tasks given by the teacher. Then the factor that of whether they want to do the task or not is motivation. And their motivation can be from the inside and the outside. It means their motivation can be from themselves and from the others, such as the teacher, friends, and the condition of the environment. Then, in the classroom, they should be motivated first before taking the material, because an unmotivated student will not be able to receive the material that the teacher delivers. And that's why we need to maintain the students' motivation, and it can be done by attracting their attention with some activity that is simple and enjoyable.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned that in psychology, the transition from child phase to adolescent influence students' emotion and behavior. So students need motivation, especially from the teachers, to raise their spiritual learning. Then, according to Miss Dwee's statement before about the way she handled her students by changing the teaching strategy and trying to approach her students, do you think that those are the best way to for handling students when they don't want to do a task?
Yeah, actually, that sounds good, but the teacher need to pay attention to their student first. Teachers need to know the characteristic of each student before changing the strategy, because if the teachers change their strategy before knowing the student, it will generate the same result. The student will feel too lazy to do the task. Then, when the teacher have analyzed the student characteristic, it will easy for them to decide which strategy should be used in order to motivate the student to do the task.
Hmm. Well, I never thought it is important to know the characteristic of students. Hear about Professor Hans' explanation. Do you have a comment or do you want to ask something, Miss Lee?
Well, so far I have no question, but gain in this conversation is I have a new strategy for making my class better and student more enjoyable in the class. And I realized that I have some correction in my strategy teaching learning after Mr. Han said about factors and the student first and motivation student to do the task. That's all,
Uh,
Miss.
yeah, I'm getting a new information too from Professor Hans' explanation. Also learn from you, from your experience being a teacher, Miss Lee. It's very interesting. We learn the factors and problem solving for handling students when they do not want to do a task. Also, we know about the characteristic of student in the teenager phase and the power of motivation in students' life. But unfortunately, our time is up now. Professor Hans, could you please give us a quote or message from teacher who are watching this show?
Sure, okay, thank you. So, things that teachers should do is be patient, lead the student, and pay attention to them. Then, there are students who don't want to do the task. The teacher should get their problem, encourage them, and motivated them to do the task.
Okay, thank you so much for our guests today, Professor Hunch and Miss Dwi. Thank you so much for joining us and give us a new information. Okay, according to Professor Soleh Hunch says, be patient, lead the students, pay attention to this to students. Also, get students' problem, encourage them, and motivated them. I'm Patrick. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next Takot Takot Talk, which certainly will have another interesting topic and guest to discuss. So stay healthy, have a nice day, and bye.
Bye.